Hello, good morning. Happy what is it today? Tuesday. Yeah, it's the first working day of the week, something like that. Also apparently this reset so it thinks that this is the primary monitor again, which is not what I wanted. So hold on, let me fix that. Oh, it's gonna reset everything, isn't it? Let's see, displays, range. You go over there. Hello Corbob and hello Albert. How are you both doing today? How's your New Year's going? You have 110 open tabs. You're losing track of where you are. I tend to try to remove my tabs to basically shut down the computer at the end of every day. It resets all the tabs, which is really nice. And I've been playing around with Arc a lot recently, and one of the things that Arc can do is shut down tabs that you have open after like X amount of days. They just auto close them, which is also a nice thing. Yeah, so the app with the llama head, that's a really cool one. I haven't really spent too much time playing around with it, but that is ollama. So ollama. So llama is the name of an open source LLM, so large language model, machine learning, AI, whatever you want to call it. Use Arc in your Mac, but you recently switched back to Windows and haven't gotten around to signing up for the Windows beta. Oh, and it's probably going to take even longer to get into that. Well, I signed up for the beta a while ago, and I haven't received an email saying that I'm in yet. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so ollama is pretty cool. Think of it as Docker for open source large language models. It's very similar to, like, I know that it's called like ollama, so it's like based on llama, but I think it's actually based upon more than just llama. Although that being said, I am not, I have done little more than play around with it a little bit. I haven't like really deep dug in to like see whether or not it's always llama based or something else, but here's what we can do with it. We can do ollama list, and it shows what models that we have downloaded. And right now we don't really have, I have this Starling 7B one. We can download one, so I can download, for example, llama, which is Facebook's LLM, so their competition with ChatGPT. We could download Mistral, which recently got a lot of funding and is also attempting to compete with ChatGPT. Albert, you're heading back to school. You have to create a hash table. Oh, excellent. That sounds like a lot of fun. Have fun and good luck at school. And then there's a bunch of other ones too. So if we go to ollama.ai and look at models, they have just a bunch of different ones. And so let's see. There's like they all, a lot of them have different like reasons that you might use them. Code Llama is interesting. This is basically llama with code stuff set up with it. Find Code Llama is actually the version, like if you use the find version of the AI, this is what they're using behind the scenes. Find Code Llama. And so if you take a look into it, this is a pretty beefy one. It's a 34B model, which requires 32 gigabytes of RAM. So I have a 64 gigabytes on this system. I can technically run a 70B model on here, which there's a few of them that are available. It takes forever for them to download. It's a lot. There's a lot to them. But Llama 2, for example, has a 70B version that we can get. Mistral 7B is probably the it's the most popular thing that I've been seeing online, like on Twitter recently. So if I were to do something like ollama, I think it's pull Mistral and then a tag so I can get latest, or I want 7B text. So it basically is, they have instruct and text. Instruct is basically don't try to talk back, just say, like, you know, just give what they want. So if you say like give me code about this, it just gives you the code and doesn't try to like explain the code. Text is trying to be more like, oh, you're chatting with me, let's chat, let's have a nice happy conversation. How good are these specialized LMs? Also, hello Blah, how are you doing today? So what I've seen online is that they are not as good as ChatGPT until you train them. And so you can do, basically you can take the model and you can do further training on them using some tools, which I am like, LangChain, I think, is one of them. There's a few tools that I've heard that you can use to like further train and refine one of these models. And so what I've heard is that Mistral 7B, for example, which 7B is a really tiny amount of compared to like ChatGPT, which is I think like 130 something minimum, maybe like 140, 150, more than that. Albert, 20 stream streak, thank you so much for that. That's awesome. And now it should be easier, right? Because I'm not doing like multiple streams a day that you have to get onto. Also 30 quacks. I don't know if we can do 30 quacks. That's a lot of quacks. But we can do some quacks. Here, let's do a few quacks. They do start to repeat, so you generally get some a little bit boring with them. So not 30 of them, but enough. But yeah, so anyways, the idea is that you can use something like LangChain to further refine something like Mistral 7B and run it on. With something like this, you only need like 13 gigabytes of memory, maybe less than that. And which means that like a MacBook Air could run this easily. And if you further refine it, it can know everything about what you're doing and what you're trying to do, and it could answer simple questions about your context stuff. So if I figured out how to like get information about like all my streams or my courses, and I can like train it on that, I can have an AI that responds with like, you know, help for my courses, which might be a project. I actually have a project in my backlog for, hey, let's figure out how to make like a Brooks Builds LM and like see how that would work. Anyways, what we can do with this, we can do ollama run. We'll then Mistral 7B text. It'll spin up, takes a little bit of time to go. This obviously takes more time the bigger the model is. This is not using GPU, this uses metal something. Basically, Macs get special treatment because they have cool stuff. That's all I know. I just know that there's something special that like allows it to run a little bit faster on Macs than on Windows systems when not using a GPU. Obviously, if I had a GPU like an NVIDIA card, which aren't compatible with Macs, then this would run even faster and you can do even more cool stuff. So yeah, then here we are. We have an integrated in. So like I am currently streaming on twitch.tv. Please say hello to my viewers. I have no idea who that person is, and do not send them an email. So yeah, that's a thing. If a big tech company is doing that, no point in trying ourselves. Why would he need an okay, an RSS reader? Wait, Google's creating one. Oh wait, they killed it? Oh, Metal is the Mac equivalent of Windows DirectX. Okay, that's cool. So basically, that allows you to use this type of stuff. So you can now ask it stuff, and it's just like everything else. Prompting is important. It's not that great on its own until you start doing interesting stuff with like each LM. From what I can tell, you requires different prompting sort of techniques, and I'm not super great at it even for ChatGPT. So it's definitely something to sort of like experiment and play around with. That being said, this is pretty cool. You're off to lurk because you apparently have children that you need to take to appointments. Children, that's a thing. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I mean, we could probably just leave that up. We can ask it questions later if we want to. It now knows that I'm a chat streamer and thinks that I'm David. So that's the thing. You have a recipe markup generator I think a home and LL preacher would work on. Oh yeah, that could be good too. Imagine if Google just contributed to open source projects instead of constantly buying startups and killing them. Every company has their strategies, and apparently that's their strategy right now. All right, so today we're working on building up a new course, and I'm really happy because like this new stream schedule where I do like a project on Mondays, or I do like a project on one stream. But right now that's Mondays. Course creation for Tuesdays, and then fun tomorrow. We get to focus the entire day on this, which is going to be at the beginning. It's going to be like 4.5 hours until I can upgrade, improve my endurance for streaming long periods of time, and then that can go up. Basically, I have time blocked out for these days until like 4 p.m. So I'll be able to do this for when eventually I'll be able to do this for a long time. Until now, it's just my energy that's in the way. Another thing to note, while I am streaming both on YouTube and on Twitch, I know that Twitch, especially with longer streams, starts sending like advertisements like crazy out, both to like newcomers, people coming in, but also just to all of you. I plan on taking a break. I don't know exactly what my cadence will be for that. It might end up having to be the advertisement cadence. So I know that I'm curious about this, and so like if you get advertisements just sort of randomly throughout the day, let me know. Just put into stream, because I don't think I can see when you all get random advertisements from Twitch. YouTube, I don't think I have advertisements even set on right now. Although sometimes I do, and then I usually turn off. I should probably here. Let me just double check that it's not actually going to send. Because if I don't say what to do with advertisements, YouTube will do stuff for me. Yeah, okay, so here, I can choose how mid-rolls appear and insert mid-rolls manually. So now, by doing that, YouTube won't insert a mid-roll for me and waits patiently for me to do it. Oh, like a frequency over time chart? So from what I understand, Twitch wants, like Twitch encourages streamers to run advertisements. And they want you to run a mid-roll every hour or so. And if you don't, they will for you. But they'll run it like at random times for people, which means that it's a very disjointed experience. Like if I want all of you to be able to see what's going on at the same time, but half of you are in an advertisement, that sucks, right? Because you can't hear what I'm saying. Like they, if I remember correctly, they put like the content into a little window in the top so you can sort of see what's going on, but that's not going to work if I'm explaining something or doing something fun or something like that. Yeah, you don't really. Yeah, I would imagine that. Plus, also, if you run the ads, there's no pre-rolls. Like if people join in later on, they don't run ads for them. If I run ads myself, so they're definitely encouraging me to run ads for that. I was thinking of following what pretty much everyone else that I'm seeing online doing is every hour take a 3-minute break and then run a 3-minute ad block, and then that way we all take a break. And you can mute or whatever, and then YouTube doesn't need to do that. then I'll go grab a drink or something else, stretch, and come back and do that. And then that will be it. Like it would break every hour or so. I think more finger breaks would be nice, sort of like having recess. Plus, in the future, I might be able to use that to like figure out how to break these up into smaller videos too. I haven't really like figured that out yet. That's like part of like this new schedule is I have a full day on Thursday that I'm just taking for myself. All I'm doing is like trying to figure out what's coming up, like what's going on. It's not necessarily like I'm gonna work really hard on like coding stuff. It's like more creative, like work on the actual business Brooks Build stuff. And part of that is gonna be figuring out what do I want to do for like, cutting these streams up, because I've not done that before simply because I've never had the time or energy. And I think now I'm going to start being able to, which is going to be really nice. I'm looking forward to experimenting with that. Okay, so let's talk about courses. I have a list of possible courses that I created, that I've been sort of collecting from people, and then also just sort of like adding on my own. So right now I only have 9 on here. So this is what it is so far. Can I make this bigger? I cannot make the text bigger. That would have been nice. I don't know if you can read this. Brooks builds 12-hour Director's Edition supercuts. And like that 12 hours is like years of content all just crunched into one. Yeah, we could do something like that. I don't need tags on these. These are just courses. Okay, so one that I just sort of thought of this morning that I didn't have in here, which is like introduction to Docker. Okay, so we have one request that came in, like a new book playlist. So some of these would be obviously free courses, and some of them would be paid courses, depending upon where it is. Like a new book walkthrough. I don't think that there's any value in me doing a completely new read through the book, but like a course, like, oh, you're taking the book, let's like build a course that goes next to the book, like so you do both at the same time. That could be really interesting to do. However, this is, I believe, waiting because the 2024 edition is coming out soon, and the book will theoretically be updated at that time. And as we've learned, we don't want to make a course when we know an update is about to drop. I'm like 0 through 3 on that. It sucks. Okay, so setting up Helix for web dev, this is also like runs into that updates quite a bit type thing. This might be more of a like just a YouTube like video where we just like a 1 day thing where it's like, hey, let's update that, and then we can keep that up to date with okay updates. So this might be if I do an tag for this, this might be a like YouTube only. This might be YouTube. This might be YouTube, but could also see this going on to the LMS. It could be on both. Let's see, exploration tests. So I played around with these a little bit. I'm still not 100% sure that this is the correct name for them, but one of my mentors showed me this idea, and we can do like a one-off. It wouldn't really be a course, it would just be a lesson on it. So that would be perfect for YouTube. The lesson basically is how to use automated tests to sort of explore your code and then get like instant feedback without having to do full restarts. Or I mean, I guess like it is doing like restart type things, but like you hit save and bam, it just reruns and then it runs that function, that one function, you get to see the output of it, which is really nice. So because these are, I don't know, I kind of like feel that might be up a little bit higher. Something like this feels like, again, like maybe a YouTube thing on the cargo temp crate, which is pretty cool to do. But I don't know if it has like that much value. So I'm going to leave it down here. Cores. There's so many people who run into cores as a problem, just a general issue. So having a lesson on that would be probably really helpful. This would probably be an LMS thing. It would probably be an LMS thing, and I would argue that it would, I mean, I might make it, it would probably be like really cheap or even free on its own, but it would be a sub thing that gets added into like any web dev course. Diesel. So I've had this, not YouTube, I wanted LMS. I've had a request for Diesel stuff, so to me that might be even like higher than cores, and we can do Diesel without even Axum, like just plain old, just isolate and just do only Diesel and that's it. And very similar to what we did with SQLX. Let's see. Another thing that I was thinking about, Code Crafters is really fun. There's a lot of sort of technology that you need to use, like, you know, the Flate crate and some other things. Basically creating a course, which could be both on YouTube and the LMS, that helps sort of like, oh, here's how to use these different technologies that you're going to use in there. And then that way it's not telling you how to solve the problems, but really telling you, okay, here's, you want to know how to use the Flate crate? Here we go. Here's everything you need to know for the Flate crate in order to pass the challenges. You can do a cores plus HTMX YouTube video to harvest that sweet pipe. Is the hype still going? I can't help but feel that I've missed that wave. That wave has come and gone, and like now you just get a bunch of like, you know, it's like what, like the little waves that come after it. You had to learn to set up cores up when doing your API that sends HTML for HTMX to consume. I mean, yeah, you would need to do that for any backend and any front end. So like I could set this up because like, yeah, that is, if I do this right, part of this course is also good for non-Rust. Like anybody can go from it. So business-wise, this also, makes sense for me. Maybe I'll put that below cores, because anybody, like people who purchase using the link for Code Crafters ends up I make money from that. So providing more support and more interesting things for this would is to the benefit of me from a business perspective. Most people just review HTMX on a surface level. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so here. HTMX. If we were to look at HTMX, that would be probably, I would do this as an LMS thing then. And let's I don't know. This ordering is not final. What I'm going to do is there's a feature that I noticed in YouTube that gives me the ability to research terms and see how many people are searching for it. So it might be nice. I think HTMX being the backend programmer's front-end framework fits. The thing that I think a lot of programmers that are only backend that don't do front end at all, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna put it to the front end devs and do front end and they can't do, is like, you're gonna find out really quickly that what HTMX is, what I believe it's giving them is the least hard part about front end. Like actually solving the problems that users have and like testing and logging and figuring out all those things, then changing them. Those are just human problems. Those are not going to be fixed automatically by HTMX. That being said, if HTMX like inputs something that like allows you to like self-change it based upon user behavior and user needs, then we're talking about something. Okay, so using Mongo with Axum. So this is probably waiting. So here, let's do which ones we're gonna have to wait on. Helix, maybe waiting. I don't know. I kind of need to like reset it up for web dev for myself anyways, so I might just do that together. This one is waiting. Cargo temp crate doesn't need to. Okay, so using Mongo with Axum, this would be an LMS, and this would also be waiting because we're waiting for Axum. Connecting to MongoDB from Rust. This could just be, would probably be an LMS one. So it'd just be a using Mongo. Introduction to Docker. This one I came up with because I'll probably put on both LMS and YouTube. Because there's a lot, like I use Docker a lot, especially in the courses where it's like, hey, you want a free database? Just like load up Docker and run it. And you get a Postgres database, you get a Mongo database, you get whatever you want. You get 20 Postgres databases if you want. And it's nice to have in your toolkit to do things like that, so you don't have to install you don't have to install Postgres on your system natively and just run it. You can basically just install it, and you're like, oh, I don't want it right now, just turn it off, and it's so easy. So like this also feels like way up there. Any other things that we should add in before I get to research time? You somehow have it blow up on you constantly because you don't understand Docker Compose. Oh, so yeah, part of Docker would includes Docker Compose. I use Docker Compose all the time. Derub, hello. Shuttle Axum. Okay, so basically deploying to shuttle. That could be an interesting thing. So that would probably be an LMS thing. Axum and U related full course. Yeah, I have. I guess I should add it in here. it's on my brain so much. The Axum Relay course, this is LMS, and it's also waiting until 1.0 because there's more changes that they had an update, they had a release the other day, and there's still more that are potentially breaking coming in. G, you you. So you is another one. So that will be an LMS, and we're also waiting. Let's see. Using async GraphQL with Axum. So we can just do async. Here, let's just do GraphQL. That'd be one of them, and then another one would be GraphQL in Axum. So GraphQL we could definitely do now. I use it in my front end actually with the LMS. So it can be LMS, that's not waiting. GraphQL and Axum would be LMS and waiting. And I could do the same thing, right? GraphQL and U. That would be waiting and LMS. Moise, hello. Adding SMTP email service in Axum server. So that would be something like how to send emails from a Rust app is probably what I would do that. And that might end up just being a YouTube video, like a little short YouTube tutorial. Something like this. I would never just like set up my own email server itself. I would just end up using something like SES to send the emails for me. Like that would be Amazon SES. Rust embedded. So that'd be super interesting. So I would want I need something like more than just Rust embedded, right? Like I need to figure out how to make it like focused in on one specific thing. So what could we do? What could we do with Rust embedded? Like controlling lights on a light board, like we can get a Raspberry Pi and like a and some motors and do something else, like making a little robot. Basically, I need the course to be like something specific. Oh, a home cloud. Yeah, self-hosted cloud. This would probably be YouTube. Mostly because I don't know if I want my LMS to be like, most of the clouds that I would install are just open. M. Colo, hello. Can't watch now, but just happy to see I'm still going strong with the vids and streams. Oh, thank you. And have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see, on Twitch end, shuttle support for a lot of these frameworks are in progress, but early beta. Yeah, that's definitely true too. It's like I might end up finding I need to delay a little bit for shuttle. Oh, so okay. So here, let's add in a waiting for that then. Dinner Remix. Hello. How are you doing today? Self-host a platform. What do you mean a self-host a platform? Oh, you mean that's the host cloud. That's the home cloud. Okay, got it. I'm running out of room. Ah. Okay, well that's I don't care about let's see, what was there, center it. There was one about, okay, so the embedded stuff, the thing that I would probably do, that might be a project. You know what? I think that's going to be a project. I have projects that I might work on too. But here, let me remove some of these tags because I don't need those. One of these okay, so this could be like not a feeder. I wanted to do something for Zilby. Like a play button, or like I guess like a food button for Zilby. Basically, I guess like buttons to let Zilby talk /chat on Twitch, YouTube. I always I do feel like it would be a lot of fun if I have a button next to his food bowl and he presses it in order to like tell us that he wants food, and we make him press it, so it's like a treat for him to get anything. We don't give him dry food, so I can't do a full automated cat feeder because the wet food would just go bad. But we do make him like chat about it, but we do make him like tell us it before we give it to him, so at least he like works for his food every time. I do want to like move into other things like play and like other things, because I see like with other cats, they've learned how like, you know, specific buttons correspond to specific toys, in fact. And there's several times where I'm like, okay, you want this toy? And he's like, no, clearly I don't. He just looks at it. You then pick up on another toy and he's like, yeah, that's the one I want. He clearly knows which toy he wants. There's just no way for him to tell us that. Maybe like if I have buttons, and then also the fun side is I can make the buttons tweet, like actually add chats into YouTube and Twitch, which would be hilarious. That would be a project base. Those would be the other stream. Now Tori is such a good one. So Tori, this would definitely be an LMS one. And it's 1.0. We don't have to wait for that. Durub, I saw only part of your message before it got retracted. Sorry about that. Let's see. Jim, hello. Happy New Year. And a 5-stream streak. Thank you. You are streaking indeed. Oh, you have a 3D printer if I want parts? I would want to like, let's hold off on that because I don't even know when I'm going to get to that. It's going to be a project. And as you can see, I have other projects that I might end up getting to first. There's a bunch of things in here that I might need to do for like co-working mode and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. Let's see, toy dispenser using Raspberry Pi. So yeah, that would be a fun one. So like, an IoT toy dispenser for Zilby. Hosto Luego Original, hello. How are you doing today? One practical business-oriented Rust programming project you pay to watch is serverless Rust deploying very cheap software in a cloud through Rust. So that would probably be an actual course. Whether or not it's YouTube or not is unknown at this point in time, but this would be basically AWS. AWS, like using AWS, and then also another one would be like Rust on AWS. Like those would be two different things. AWS, like obviously could be done now. Rust on AWS could, for the most part, be done now. The problem with these two is I don't know if I can stream them at all, because AWS is so dangerous to stream. If I accidentally expose the wrong things on AWS, that could end up costing me so much money. And I don't want to be like, okay, I'm good. All right, I got a $500,000 charge I'm done. Bye. Also, had also done it on the spin fermion framework. Spin I've looked at. Fermion I haven't looked at. Are they the same thing or are they related to each other? They resonate really pushing for market share. Oh wait, is that a cloud? I remember looking at spin, but I forget what it was. Lots of feature goodies, and I think they pay for referrals. Okay, so here, that might be a project that we can do. So like sometimes I would do a project to feed into the courses, right? Like if it's something I really don't know, I'll have to build a project for it first, and then I can do a course for it. There's some technology though that I feel confident enough in that I can just build the course straight. Like you've seen how I do this, where I'll do like a little bit of something and then I'll understand it enough to like be able to build a course out of it. If it's a simple enough technology, I can generally do that. Or if it's like related to another technology that I've done a lot more. Oh, Fermion clouds are spin servers. So, yeah, okay. So that might be something in this. So like, Fermion cloud. Is that how to spell it? No. Fermion cloud. Spin. So maybe that would be unknown if it's LMS or YouTube. I might just end up doing that as YouTube because it as you said, like it might be a more like partnership type thing that I could look into if I could. You're able to build a Discord chatbot for free and host on Fermion. Ooh, that's a good idea for a project. Discord chatbot. I'm gonna need one pretty soon. Okay, so we are working on courses, so that goes over there. All right, so research time. Now I'm not completely sure what will get exposed if I try to do this. So instead, I am going to